In this video, I'm going to break down 7 different side hustle ideas that you can start this year to the point where you're hopefully making an extra $1,000 a month. And for each of them, we're going to talk about how easy it is to get started. Secondly, how easy it is to make your first $100 from it. And thirdly, how much time and effort it takes to keep things going once you've gotten started. And then afterwards, I'm going to talk about what I would personally be doing if I was, say, in my early 20s and trying to make some extra money, and how I'd be applying these principles to my own life. Part 1, the philosophy of side hustles. Okay, so let's start by zooming out a little bit and thinking critically about what we're actually trying to do here. So what is a side hustle? What is the point of doing the side hustle thing? Well, firstly, very few people would say no to an extra $1,000 a month coming in. Even an extra few $100 a month coming in would be really helpful for a lot of people. Having more money is generally a good thing because it unlocks autonomy, it unlocks freedom, it lets you buy more things if you're interested in that, it lets you unlock more experiences, and it lets you basically have a little bit more control over your own life. So how do you actually make this extra money that you want coming in? Well, one way is to try and get a raise at your day job, but we're not going to talk about that because this video is about side hustles. The other way is of doing a kind of old school side hustle, which is actually just called a second job. Like, for example, let's say I wanted to make an extra few $100 a month. I could get a job at the local kebab shop down the road. And that's all well and good because I could be making, I don't know, £10, £12 an hour, something like that, working at this said kebab shop. But there's a few issues with me trying to use that as my side hustle or second job. Firstly, there is a cap to how much money I could be getting paid working at the local kebab shop. Secondly, working at the local kebab shop is probably not very fun. I'm a big fan of kebabs, I love it, but even then it would probably become kind of boring after a while. And thirdly, and most importantly, it would tie me into more shift work. Let's say I've got a day job and then I'm doing the kebab shifts in the evening. I have to show up at a particular time. I don't have autonomy over my time and I don't have the flexibility in being able to work when I want. And so these factors mean that working at the local kebab shop, I would call less of a side hustle, although you can use that terminology if you want. I would call it more like a second job. So when we say side hustles, what do we generally mean by that? A decent side hustle should tick 3 boxes. Firstly, it should allow you to make more money than you would be working at a local service job. Secondly, it should be something that you actually enjoy doing, where ideally it wouldn't necessarily feel like work. It wouldn't feel as if you have a second job that you're toiling away at just to make a little bit of extra cash. It would be something that actually fulfills you creatively. And thirdly, and perhaps most importantly, it would be flexible. You wouldn't be tied into a certain shift pattern. You'd be able to work broadly where you want and when you want. Now, in this video, we're going to break down 7 different things that you could do that tick all 3 of these boxes. But there's one final thing that we need to understand before we go forward, and that is the law of making money. The law of making money basically says that money is an exchange of value. If you want to make money, you need to provide value to people who are willing to pay you for said value. Now, this is a mistake that I see a lot of people making. All the emails I get from people asking, how do I make money on the internet? All this kind of stuff. But like, in order for you to make money, someone needs to give you that money. You can't just make money. Money just does not grow on trees. It doesn't just appear magically in your account.